Welcome, man. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Real quick. Y'all recognize this center console well. Little four banger. Love the little four bangers. This is a Jeep Compass, guys. I think like a 2008 model. Now, I don't see it. That was a check engine light. I thought they said check engine light on. Well, anyway, they brought it in. And guess why they brought it in, guys? That's right. They want a tune-up. Now, depending on your definition of the word tune-up, that will likely result in what you do, okay? And some people, the general average public, simply call a tune-up spark plugs, man. In this case, 4 spark plugs. And that's a tune-up. Guys, how many of you guys been around for a long time? Remember when we used to check and adjust timing with a timing light, the distributor, checking air filter, checking PCV, checking all. In my opinion, you still should do all of those. Now, you can't check and adjust timing. The computer has total control over that, so you can't adjust timing. But however, you can check and replace things like filters, things that are designed to over time, not so much wear, but maintenance. Filters will get dirty over time, and it's required that you replace it. So things like that, guys. But for the most part, they want to tune up. Now I'm gonna look this car over, and we're gonna go over a few things about my opinion of a tune up and how I think you should go by doing it, especially on this little 4-cylinder engine, guys. So I'm headed to the shop, guys. When I get in the shop, we're gonna go straight to the computer and check some things, guys. Stay tuned. Alrighty, guys, here we are. We're back at the computer. I have the topology pulled up on this 08 Jeep Compass with a 2-liter. It's 2-liter 4-cylinder engine. Now, like I said earlier, they came in for a tune-up, but I still want to scan it and see what's going on. As you can see, I have yellow, naturally the check engine light on. So I have yellow in the PCM and the ABS. Now, be careful about this, not paying attention to this, because there's some codes that can trigger the PCM on. But first, let's go straight to the PCM, okay? And we're gonna go on the DTC. All right, guys, here we go. Now, yes, they do have a cylinder 1 misfire. This is why I'm assuming they just come in and say, I want a tune-up, because normally when you go to like places like Jiffy, AutoZone or Advanced Autos, those places that will scan your car for free, they probably told them, yeah, you have a misfire cylinder 1. All you need is a tune-up. Now, guys, y'all know my definition of tune-up, okay? It is designed to help restore the car back to peak performance. And in some cases, it will take more than just spark plugs to do that. Yes, but today's definition of a tune-up is simply spark plugs. I totally disagree with that. A lot of things you need to check. Now, let's dissect these codes a little bit. P0315, no crank sensor learned. What do you mean by learned? The crank sensor that's in there should be learned already. Well, there's a procedure to do this. I'll go over that with you guys later. Now, here's P0301. This is likely why they end talking about or thinking they just merely need spark plugs. I'm going to install the spark plugs, but there are some additional things I would do to give myself a peace of mind. And then we have P0335, which crank sensor position circuit. Now, they very well could need a crank sensor. I'm not down that. So what I want to do now, guys, is no crank sensor learn. Let me look at something right quick. On the miscellaneous, there's an option where you can learn ETC. Okay, it's not under this mode. But guys, what we're gonna do before I screw in spark plugs, like I say, let's go look at the ABS. Trouble codes in the ABS. Okay, C121C, torque request denied. That can be caused by a number of things. Yes, a crank sensor can trigger this. PCV valve can trigger this. A lot of things can trigger this. All right. So be careful how you look at that code. Now, what you do not see is lightning bolt over these modules, meaning there is no flash update available for this module. So they're likely at the latest update. Let me look at something pertaining to this code right here. Learn procedure. Okay, P0315. What is it actually? Okay. Possible causes: crankshaft position sensor wrong or connectors. Crankshaft tone wheel flex weight. Okay, so yes, I will have to do a relearn once I replace, but there could very well be issues with the flex plate. So we will find out, guys. Now I want to go back to the car because I want to show y'all some things I do when I screw in spark plugs. All right, let's go over to the car. Let me take a quick break. When I get back, we're gonna be at the car yanking out spark plugs. Let's get it. All right, guys, here we are back at the car. Here's my spark plugs I'm getting ready to install. But before that, I do that, guys. Now remember, they have a problem out of cylinder 1, or the computer detected a misfire in cylinder 1. This is cylinder 1. So guys, what I want to do, mainly I do this on 4 cylinders because they're easy. You should technically do them on all, but this is very easy. When I remove the spark plugs, in order to replace or install new spark plugs, I am going to do what we call a compression test, guys. I have my compression gauge here. So what I'm doing by doing that is verifying that the internal combustion process, the engine able to produce the proper amount of compression in each cylinder. So it doesn't matter if I screw in new spark plug. If cylinder 1 compression is low, all bets are off. You're just wasting money at that time. You can't bring compression back by merely screwing in spark plugs. So to give myself a peace of mind on 4-cylinder engines, the ones that's real easy, as I pop these coils out and the spark plugs, I will go in with my compression gauge and run a compression test. Okay. Now, if all the cylinders compressions are at spec, then yes, I can feel good about this tune-up and the spark plug replacement. Right, just a peace of mind I like to give myself, because the customer very well could have a problem internal to cylinder 1, which triggered the misfire. Now, even the crank sensor could be at fault. So we don't know, guys. We got to get going. All right, so I'm gonna set the camera up and I'm gonna start yanking out spark plug. We're gonna run a compression test. All right, y'all ready? Let's get it. Alright guys, there you have it. I am done with the spark plugs. I refuse to call spark plugs only a tune-up, guys, but in order to stay in the same, as far as language goes, I will have to do that. I have no choice, but I have just performed a basic tune-up, but I took it a step further, guys. I verified that the engine is able to produce the proper amount of compression that will make the spark plugs beneficiary. Alright? It would have done me no good to screw these in if a cylinder had low compression. Alright, now as far as the proper name for a tune-up, guys, yes guys, you have an air cleaner in here or air filter. The engine has to breathe properly, guys. If the air filter is clogged, okay, you essentially starving your engine for the proper amount of air, which will throw off air fuel ratio. Okay, so a lot of that stuff need to be checked. the PCV valve, okay, the throttle body is down here. It needs to be checked and clean. If it's dirty, meaning carbon buildup on the blades, yes, that could cause you to stall out when coming to a stop. There's a lot of things that need to be checked on a tune-up, but all they wanted was spark plugs. But I will look this stuff over and try to upsell anything else that I deem necessary. Okay, there was no updates on the computer, so flashing the computer for any kind of drivability improvement, it's not there. So everything else rely on the actual physical tune-up. Now guys, this car is equipped with a CVT transmission. Okay, there is a dipstick too. There is no dipstick per se, but remember guys, transmission plays a major role in the drivability of a car nowadays. Okay, they are related. This can have you thinking has a problem, or this can have you thinking the transmission have a problem, vice versa. They are married. Today's modern cars, the transmission and engine are totally in sync with each other. They have to be in sync to maintain proper drivability throughout the drive cycle of your vehicle. So don't just for one instant disregard the transmission. I ain't worried about the transmission, I just want this to run right. No, that could affect this. So guys, I'm basically done. I'm gonna upsell some more things. I'm gonna let it up in the air and look some things over and take a look at that crank sensor, physically look at that crank sensor, see if they might want to, you can't look at a crank sensor and tell if it's bad. There's a couple of tests you might want to run, but I have to do all of that off camera because I got to go up front and find out if they want to do anything else as far as drivability related. All right, guys, that's all I have, man. I appreciate you guys watching, guys. I hope you got something out of it. Now, I might catch a little flack, guys. I did remove the spark plugs with my speed drill. There's a lot of sensitive guys out there, and I understand. Okay, I understand. Yes, guys, and to me, it's okay to remove spark plugs with a speed drill. Okay, remove. All right, but under no circumstances should you use a speed drill to install spark plugs and hammer down. Brrr. No, guys, that is not cool at all. So, but as far as removing them, I don't see any problem with it, guys, but a lot of people tend to disagree, and I understand that. You have your beliefs, okay? I get it. But removing spark plugs should be no problem using a drill. Install with your hand tight with your hand ratchet, okay? And that's all I have, guys. Thanks for watching.